Hi, today we're going to talk about drawing way too light, like drawing way too light on the page. We're going to go kind of over a few ways to get rid of that, and let's kind of get into that. Before that though, if you guys like anything to do with art advice, with, learning to draw your favorite characters, kind of mental aspects, like, tips, tricks, all that stuff, I'm also giving out free critiques, and I'll talk about that actually at the very end of the video, about the critiques, because I'm giving out free critiques right now. But if you like any of that stuff, please click the subscribe button and click that little bell icon to get notifications. So let's get into the actual topic. So I'm going to be drawing here, just doodling so that you're not totally bored. I am going to demonstrate a couple of things of what I'm talking about too. In terms of the actual drawing too light, I guess you don't really need to watch this video if you don't draw too light. If you have the opposite of the problem I talked about before, last time I talked about drawing way too dark on the page where you cannot even get rid of it. This is more, you're drawing too light, you're too tentative, your actual sketches are just not presentable to, let's say, a client because they're so freaking light. I mean, they can be if you adjust them on computer, but just at face value, they're not good enough, and it's just not good design. You shouldn't do that. You should make them dark enough so that anyone can pick it up and understand what's going on. And it won't just rub out completely, because if you're drawing in a sketchbook, and let's say the sketchbook is binded together, and or even not binded together, like with a ring, with a kind of a ring on the edge, if you put that in a bag and that thing rubs together, that's gonna kind of almost rub your drawing away, and it is so light. So there's a couple issues with that. The reason I talk about this problem is because my closest artist friend, his sketches are way too light always, and his finished work's great, don't get me wrong. So I guess he can go on, have a great career with doing that, but I still think it's practicing good design to have kind of confident looking sketches. So yeah, so that kind of gets down to what I'm talking about. It is, I think, more of a confidence issue than it is a control issue. It could be a control issue and a confidence issue where you're not quite sure how to control the pencil you're using, and so because of that, you're drawing super ultra light and slow. And slow is fine, but the leaving it light part is a little weird, where you could just go and, boom, just get that down, boom, get that line down. I see that more as a confidence issue. Here's two things I recommend to do to get over that. I never had this issue in my life, by the way, but I have seen other people overcome it. Two things. One, here's a big one. Use pen for a while, and I don't mean like ballpoint pen, which I do like using on my own. There's a ballpoint pen. This is the pen I like using a lot. This is the Faber-Castell. No, I'm sorry, that's not the Faber-Castell. This is the Zebra, I think, F301 fine point. This was not fine point, but normally I like using the fine points. But when you're drawing in these ballpoint type pens, you can literally build it up. I don't know if you can see that because the lines up. You can build it up similar to a pencil. That's as positive. That's a great positive about it. But for this, let's say, exercise to get rid of this problem, it's a negative, because you can be tentative with this pen as well, with any ballpoint pen. So don't do that. What you should use is use something like a fountain pen. Those types of pens where this is like a Sharpie pen, by the way, where as soon as you put a line down, that thing is there. That thing's not going away, and you can see it pretty clearly for the most part. It's very inky at the end, and then bam, that thing almost, if you leave it still too long, that thing will soak right into the paper, maybe in a kind of a gross way. But that will make you move your pencil quickly and more confidently, and it's gonna make you think a lot more before you put it down. And it's gonna let you know that things can be presentable and slightly messy. I'm gonna be really careful when I say that, okay? Slightly messy, not really messy, but it can tell you that, hey, that can read as an eyeball, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Basically, it's gonna give you more confidence, because you're gonna need to, how to say that? You're gonna need to be able to swim. It's like throwing somebody into the deep end of a pool. You're gonna have to, think your way out of it. in other words, and you're gonna have to be more confident to do that, because it's gonna, so it won't let you kind of wuss out. Not wuss out. That sounds wrong, but it's not gonna let you, be super particular about your lines that much, and it will get you out of that mindset, and it's gonna build confidence. Trust me. Just using a pen in general helped me out with that. And I've also seen guys, like I said, or guys and girls just change the way they draw entirely based on doing this. I recommend doing that for as long as you need. Like I said, I never personally had that issue, but if you are someone who's struggled with that, do it for a month. Like, that's what I recommend. A month is like in there where you're drawing all the time with this thing. And I mean only this. Don't touch your pencil for a while. And you're gonna be rewarded, trust me. And when you go back to pencil, you might go back into old habits, you might not. Hopefully you don't. Hopefully you'll go back into putting down strong lines or whatever it is that you need to do. Maybe go soft then, go into your process. But so in other words, this whole thing would be more about killing a habit, right? That is holding you back. So it's a very specific thing. And like I said, if you don't really have a problem with this, you don't even really need to watch this video. You really don't. There's no reason to. This is only for people who like draw way too light or a little less confident with their whole thing. If you want to see more like kind of like about line art and kind of examples of that, please hit up my Instagram. I put up stuff there. I'm trying to be a little bit more. I was active on Instagram like crazy for a long time, but the last few weeks I've been very mellow. But I'm gonna push it more again and really try to update it a whole lot more to I'm trying to connect with people a whole lot on there as well. So check out my Instagram. I put a lot of examples of art on there. And then I would say the second exercise is if you can help it. And this is so crazy. This is why I said this is a very special. Only if you have this issue do this. And it's going to be obvious. Try to draw something as dark as you can. Try to draw something you normally draw. And I mean grind that thing to the page if you have to. And I mean do that maybe once. Maybe once a day if you have to. Don't do it too much because you're just going to create the opposite habit. But to take what you draw normally and see how dark you can do it. It's honest. Okay. I think based on from people I've talked to that I made them do this, it's gonna feel almost like you cannot. It's gonna be a strange feeling, like you almost can't do it. Which is why you have to force yourself to do something very dark. And I mean, like I said, just do one, maybe one a day at most. Don't ingrain another bad habit, because then it's gonna be a mess. I think by doing that, you're gonna look back at your other drawings and realize how much further you could have taken it. Or you're gonna look back at your other drawings and you're gonna be like, oh, okay, that's super light by comparison, because we judge a lot of things by contrast. So you need something to compare it to. But try that out. Those are two things I've seen help people out. Like I said, I've never had that issue myself. I've only kind of dealt with students that had that issue, and this did help them out doing those two things. The pen, like I said, more of a fountain pen. Use that for a while, maybe every day for a month. I mean, only use that. Or maybe once a day, draw a drawing, like an entire drawing, extremely dark, like disgustingly dark. Like it's hurting your hand to do it, Not really hurting your hand, but like it's just because you've never done it before. Anyways, that's it. Let's get into the actual post announcements. I'm having a giveaway at the very end of the month. I'm giving away $100. The only thing you got to do is subscribe to the Cute email list. I'm going to put that in the description. Go in the description and copy and paste that into a URL, into the URL bar, right? And sign up for that. And that's it. That'll enter you. And I'm going to give away $100. I'm going to try to really talk about it as much as I can. I've been sick, so I had to change when it's due. It's due June 1. June 1, I'm gonna end it, and then I'm gonna use a randomizer to pick out somebody completely random. Another note, I'm actually doing free critiques now. if you've been following any of my other pages like Instagram, I talked about it there, but I'll talk about it here too. I have some spare time, so what I'm doing is you can email me any picture you have, and I'll give you my feedback on it. I might even do a paint over on it, or I might even do like a little, you know, kind of like how to, like what you could have done to improve it specifically. And I'm doing that pretty much for no reason. I'm just doing that because I have time. I think it'd be good for you. I think it would be amazing for me personally, and just more, you know, more stuff to look at. And I think it's entertaining. And I also like when people, you know, improve what they're doing because of what I'm doing, or because of what I say. So any of that stuff, the email for that is going to be in the description as well. So pretty much it. Talk to you guys next time. I'm going to post videos every Monday and Thursday, and I'll see you very, very, very soon. Say hi to me. Say hi to me in the comments. Later, guys.